Reluctantly, Lord Ulrich did as he was told. Nathan had far surpassed his expectations at every turn, so there was no reason to doubt his son's abilities to handle this issue. As Nathan made his way downstairs to the bottom floor of the hotel and entered the restaurant, he saw that it was completely empty. An eerie silence filled the room, for even the shopkeeper had disappeared. Nathan took a few steps forward, creaking over the well-worn floorboards of the space. Finally, at the other end of the room, he spotted them. 5 people stood before Nathan in all black robes, with black masks on their faces to hide their true identities. Clearly, they were meant to seem intimidating. However, Nathan casually strode up to them and smiled. "Hello there. I am Nathan of House Hayfield. What can I do for you, strange gentlemen? Perhaps you can start by introducing yourselves?" The masked figure at the front of the group cleared his throat. "You need not know who we are. We simply bring you a message that you must take heed of." "Oh, yeah? What sort of message?" "Before the hour is up, House Hayfield must forfeit their challenge to House Raven. If this is not done, the consequences will be dire." Nathan's smile slowly faded as his eyes turned cold. His hand dropped to the hilt of his sheathed broadsword. "And why would we ever do that?" The masked leader cackled as Nathan tensed up. "Because, in 3 days' time, if you do not do as we say, there will be nothing left of House Hayfield whatsoever. The memory of your once great house will fade, and nothing of your past will be remembered." At that moment, the 5 masked figures released their spiritual energy, and a dark blue magic aura surrounded Nathan. It was immediately clear to him that these men were no ordinary warriors. The leader of the group was undoubtedly a master level 5, while 2 others were level 4 masters, and the last 2 were level 1 masters. Together, they were confident their power was greater than the boy genius they had threatened. Nathan stood absolutely still as he took a deep breath in and then exhaled. Finally, he faced the masked leader. "In other words, if I don't do as you say, the 5 of you will gang up on me immediately?" Now you're getting it. Do we have an understanding, or must we crush you under the weight of our collective power?" "Very well, then. My answer is, I'll never admit defeat." As Nathan drew his sword, he released his Asura weakening aura in such an overwhelming manner that it instantly broke their dark blue spiritual barrier. Nathan's black and red spiritual energy immediately flooded the room. Although the warriors he faced were close to his own spiritual fighting level, Nathan's form of magic was simply stronger in every way. The power of Asura was an archaic set of magical spells that would have allowed him to overcome them even if they had in fact been more powerful. As the black and red energy knocked the 5 men back onto the floor, Nathan loomed over their leader and ripped off his mask. As he did so, he recognized a gold chain around his neck that marked him as a high-ranking member of the Godricshall guards. Nathan grimaced and grabbed the man with one arm, pinning him to a wall. Well. Another Godricshall guard. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised. Go back to your keep and tell whichever master you serve there that if he continues to meddle with my house, he will face the full extent of my power firsthand. I don't care if it's the Duke himself. I'll take any of you on." The 5 masked men cowered under the furious gaze of Nathan Hayfield as he held his blade out threateningly toward them. The leader, who he had unmasked, stumbled over his words as he tried to dispute Nathan's claim that they were obviously Godricshall guards sent to intimidate him. "How did you? But we're not—" "Not what?" Godricshall guards under the orders of Roderick Godrickson? Please, stop lying and save your breath. His house's sigil is on the chain around your neck. When you go, remind young Roderick that he best not meddle in other people's business. Otherwise, I'll have no choice but to meddle in his." As Nathan spoke, rage built up in his voice, and his blackened red spiritual energy grew until his skin glowed so bright that the masked men had to cover their eyes from the blinding light. Finally, Nathan slashed at the air and shot his spiritual energy out into the room once more, tossing up a huge gust of wind. Ceramic pots and goblets were thrown off the shelves, and all the tables and chairs were overturned by the force of his power. The leader held on to Nathan's feet for dear life, as his comrades were flung back into the walls behind him. The leader's mind raced as he realized there was no way his warriors could collectively overpower Nathan now. He turned his face towards them and screamed so they could hear him over the sounds of the wind. "Retreat! The boy is more powerful than we thought! Retreat at once to the keep!" The guardsmen in black rushed out of the restaurant as fast as they could. Some of them even jumped out of the window. The leader took one last glance at Nathan's power and shook his head, deeply troubled by his master's adversary. Then he, too, joined his men and fled out of sight. Slowly, the wind died down, and Nathan's skin stopped glowing. As Nathan's anger cooled, he realized that he was once again alone in the messy debris of the hotel restaurant. Nathan sighed as he sheathed his sword and began the difficult process of cleaning up the mess. A few minutes passed as Nathan waded through shards of broken pottery and tried to upright the tables and chairs. At first, his father had called down to see if he was all right, but Nathan didn't want to worry him, so he assured him that everything was fine. After all, it was Nathan who had caused the damage. He should be the one to clean it up. A knock at the door caught Nathan's immediate attention. His hand dropped to his sword hilt as his brow furrowed. "Back for more already, huh? Well, I'm more than willing to oblige." But before Nathan could draw his blade, the door burst open to reveal Deputy Officer Cain and a few of his Doom faction acolytes. As soon as Nathan saw Officer Cain, his demeanor totally shifted. He raced up and smiled at the man as Cain took in the damage all around him. "Looks like we're a little late to the party. I'd heard that there was trouble brewing over here. Even intercepted a telepath or two." "Don't trouble yourself with it. A few men in black wanted to play with me, but it was past their bedtime, so I sent them home." Cain smiled as he walked around the room and picked up the fallen black mask that Nathan had ripped off the leader's face. I'm never troubled when I hear someone's offended you. Merely curious is all. I imagine this was the work of Duke Godrickson's men?" "That would be my guess as well. Definitely all high-ranking members of the Godricshall Guard. Considering their strength levels, they had to come from the Duke's own personal bodyguard unit, as no other warriors in the fiefdom are that powerful, although I doubt they were sent out by the Duke himself." "You suspect the Duke's grandson, Roderick?" "Well, I've never even met the Duke, and Roderick doesn't seem to like me very much, so yes, that'd be my best guess." "No doubt that spoiled brat has allied himself with House Raven, and done this on their behalf. It always amazes me how far false praise can influence a noble youth with too much self-regard." "I agree, although such words don't get very far with me." Officer Cain smiled and patted Nathan's shoulder. "No, I wouldn't think so."
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.